Well, there's growing evidence this morning that artificial sweeteners could cause health problems. Researchers at George Washington University found the sugar substitute sucralose might promote high blood pressure, and blood sugar, unhealthy cholesterol, and abdominal fat. The concerns are greater for people with diabetes or prediabetes. The ongoing debate over which foods are most healthy is the subject of Dr. Mark Hyman's latest book, Food, What the Heck Should I Eat? Mark Hyman directs the Center for Functional Medicine at the Cleveland Clinic. Dr. Hyman, great to have you with us. We've been talking about this book all morning, and I guess the question is, it does seem like rules constantly are changing about what people should and shouldn't eat. Is yours the final Bible as to what we should follow?
It might not be the final Bible because we're in a constant state of study and learning, but the truth is that we've been confused because the recommendations from our government have been based on poor science and have contradicted a lot of things that we now know are true. For example, that fat is bad, that we shouldn't eat meat, that we should be, eating things that we're not really supposed to be eating, like whole eggs we're not supposed to be eating, but actually egg whites are good. That's actually false.
So should we not worry about cholesterol?
No, in fact, the government in the dietary guidelines in 2015 said that we should no longer worry about dietary cholesterol, that it's, quote, no longer a nutrient of concern, meaning that we kind of got it wrong on the egg whites for a long time.
I just think your book was so confusing, no offense, because I feel that it's always changing. You have a quiz at the beginning.
Yes.
Oatmeal is a healthy breakfast. I wrote true. You said that's false.
Yes.
You should avoid egg yolks because they raise your cholesterol and cause heart attacks. I wrote true. You said that's false.
False, right.
Red meat is unhealthy and causes cancer and heart disease. I wrote true. And you said that that's false. And I just think that, I think I'm confused about what we're supposed to do. You talk about food as being medicine,
Yes.
and that we should look at it that way,
Yeah.
and that it really dictates everything that happens in our lives.
It's so true. Food is not just calories. We all believe that we should eat less and exercise more to lose weight, but we now know that food is information, that it's instructions that literally changes your gene expression, regulates your hormones, can affect your immune system and inflammation in your body, even affects your gut microbiome. So every bite of food you take is literally like instructions to control your operating system of your biology. And if you have quality and you focus on that, it's far more effective than focusing on quantity. It's not about how much we eat, it's about what we eat.
So your message is stay away from the processed foods. If you look at ingredients and there are 25 of them, which might not include the actual thing it says it is, stay away from that. And
Twinkies are bad, John.
Stay away from sugar, right? So those
right.
are basically, if you eat real food,
Yes.
you're going to be in a pretty good place.
It's not that hard. I often teach at churches, and I say it's really easy. Just ask yourself, did God make this or did man make this? Did God make a Twinkie? No. Did God make an avocado? Yes. It's pretty simple. So most of the stuff we eat are food-like substances. They're highly processed, highly refined, which drive diabetes, obesity, heart disease, chronic disease. And we really should be eating food.
Yeah, would you say if God made it, keep it? What did you say?
God made it, eat it.
Eat it.
If man made it, leave it.
Though the Twinkie may be the culmination of God giving us
there's
reason.
37 ingredients in Twinkies. Only one of them is food, which is banana puree at the very bottom of the list.
So is there conclusive proof, now we talked about this new research, about sugar and
Yes.
sugar being so detrimental to you?
Yeah, there's
much more than salt.
overwhelming evidence that sugar is the biggest driver of obesity, type 2 diabetes, cancer, heart disease, even dementia. They're calling it type 3 diabetes. And it's not fat, it turns out. And that's why we got the whole story wrong. We were told to eat 6 to 11 servings of bread, rice, cereal, and pasta a day by the government in the food pyramid. It should be called the food tombstone.
You even say milk does not do a body good.
Yeah, we've been told by the government to eat 3 glasses of milk a day. Kids should have 2. And the truth is, there's very little evidence to support that. And the new guidelines actually were assessed by the National Academy of Sciences and said there's very little evidence for some of these things that are recommended. And it's highly industry influenced.
When people hear you say told by the government, they're going to think, well, how could they have gotten it so wrong? What are you alleging?
Well, the National Academy of Sciences just reviewed the entire process, and they found that the government has actually, in the committee, has ignored a lot of important data, for example, on saturated fat, on low-carb diets, on meat, and they've basically just assumed that these are bad. And they've also not actually represented the science fully, and they haven't completed full reviews. And so, and they're also industry influenced. For example, the Dairy Council funds some of the committee members in their work. So there's a conflict of interest issue that was brought up by the National Academy of Sciences.
And we are seeing some change. Soda consumption has gone down in the country as well.
But it's gone up everywhere else in the world.
Yeah. Well,
You also make a point of saying you're not married to any one particular diet. You're just going solely based on the research.
Yeah, I don't have any axe to grind. I don't have a particular point of view I adhere to. I just want to know what the science says. And I've been practicing nutritional medicine for 30 years, and I've actually been studying nutrition nutrition for 40 years. And we now know so much about what to eat and what not to eat. And that's what I tried to summarize in the
Oleg's
book.
got a bad rap. Dr. Hyman, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
And you can find Dr. Hyman's 10-day detox diet on our website, cbsthismorning.com.